This lesson we're going to use radical notation to represent roots. This is read the square root of 64. Now the blue check mark division symbol is called a radical symbol. And it stands for what number do you have to write down 2 times, the index is 2, and multiply to get 64. 64 is called the radicand. So in other words, in this case, the answer would be 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. Notice you could also consider negative 8, but if there's no symbol in front, notice there's nothing here, we could put a plus sign. This is called the principal square root, so positive 8. So if we take the square root of 100, and notice there's no index here. If there is no index, it's assumed to be a 2 because that's the most common one. So what number written down twice multiplied equals 100? Turns out the answer would be a positive 10. How about if we have a fraction, the square root of 4 over 81? Well, we don't panic because we can take the square root of 4 in the numerator and the square of 81 in the denominator. What times itself equals 4? Hopefully you came up with 2. What times itself gives you 81? 9. So the answer would be 2 ninths. Suppose we have a negative sign out in front. Please notice that we leave the negative and ignore it for a moment. The square root of 25, what number written twice gives you 25, would be 5. So the correct answer would be negative 5. Notice this is not the principal square root. How about if we take the square root of a negative number inside? Well, let's see. 6 times 6 would equal positive 36. That doesn't work. Let's see. Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. That doesn't work. What does work? It turns out that our real number system is not sufficient, and the answer is not a real number. And we'll have to come back later and explore what we're going to do about the fact that we don't have an answer here. So anytime you have the square root of a negative number, the answer is not a real number. Finally, if we have 3 here, it's the cube root. What number do you write down 3 times? 3 times 3 times 3. So the answer here would be 3. Finally, the cube root of the negative 1000, it's okay to have negative numbers because negative times a negative times a negative is negative. So negative 10 would be the correct answer here.